You some news summaries with Nura Mohammed. Hello, Nura.
Hello, Martin. First in the news summaries, the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Sam George, has announced what could be one of the most significant education reductions in fiber broadband prices in recent years, following engagements between government and MTN Ghana aimed at improving internet affordability. In a social media post on Wednesday, June 17, the minister said discussions with MTN Ghana had led to substantial cuts in unlimited fiber broadband packages. And according to him, customers who previously paid 987 Ghana cedis for a 1-month unlimited 100 Mbps package will now pay 299 Ghana cedis. Effective today, fiber broadband prices have crashed, he wrote. Meanwhile, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Governs Abuja, has announced that the government has fully settled all outstanding arrears owed to the contractor working on the Tema Motorway project, clearing the way for accelerated progress on one of Ghana's most critical transport corridors. Addressing Parliament on Wednesday, June 17, the Roads Minister assured lawmakers that financial obligations to the contractor have been fully met and there are currently no outstanding payments due under the contract. He explained that the government has prioritized the clearance of arrears to ensure that contractors are not hindered by financial constraints, which often contribute to delays in project execution. Also in the summaries, 2 men have been remanded into lawful custody by the Adabaka District Court for allegedly causing the death of an unidentified man who reportedly entered their residence at Tesano in the early hours of April 10, 2026. The accused, Mauli Wadi, a machine operator, and William Kwe, an engineer, have been charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The prosecution said their alleged involvement in the incident was uncovered following a review of CCTV footage obtained from the Police Emergency Command Center. The court did not take their pleas and remanded them into custody to reappear on June 30, 2026. And finally, President John Dramani Mahama has urged the Black Stars to play with determination and pride as they prepare for their opening match against Panama in Toronto, assuring the national team of the full support of the government and the people of Ghana. In a statement issued on behalf of the President, the government and the people of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama described the country's 5th World Cup appearance as a reflection of the resilience and fighting spirit of the nation. As you stand on the threshold of your first match against Panama in Toronto, the government and the over 30 million people of Ghana stand firmly behind you, the statement said. President John Dramani Mahama encouraged the players to draw inspiration from young Ghanaians who look up to them and to seize the opportunity to make the nation proud. That's it for the summaries. Over to you, Martin.
Thank you very much, Nura, for the summaries. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. Clearly, the big talking point in the entire country now is the readiness of the Black Stars ahead of tomorrow's tonight's crucial encounter against Panama. And in a few hours, the senior national team, the Black Stars, will begin their FIFA World Cup 2026 campaign with a crucial clash against Panama at the BMO Stadium in Toronto. The encounter, scheduled to kick off at 11 p.m. Ghana time, marks the first ever senior international meeting between the two countries and is expected to play a key role in shaping Ghana's World Cup journey. Excitement and support for the Black Stars have been building up across the country, with Ghanaians rallying behind the team ahead of the important fixture. Ghana's World Cup campaign will be significantly impacted without Thomas Partey and Mohamed Kudus. The absence of the midfielder is a major blow for the team, as he is a key player in that part of the game. Earlier today, Ghana's parliament paid glowing tribute to the Black Stars, praising their dedication and expressing confidence in their ability to make the nation proud on the international stage. For more on what's been happening throughout Parliament's discussion, we'll get an update in a moment from our parliamentary correspondent who's been updating us on what exactly has transpired in the last few hours, where some MPs have been calling for prayers for the national team. And then also both sides have been sharing their views regarding what exactly their expectations are. The coincidentally, one of the key things we've always known about is how Ghanaians are united when it comes to issues of football. Although some people may have some pessimistic opinions, it looks as though largely there is mad groundswell of support for the national team, and today is no exception as the nation gets ready for the 11 p.m. kickoff. Let's listen to some of the members of parliament who've been expressing their thoughts on what exactly their expectations are and their prayers for the senior national team.
And now. And so on that note, I want to plead with everyone to set aside our differences, social and cultural, religious, and unite today and going forward to support the Black Stars and wish them all the best in Canada. Today we are equipping the Panamanians by 2-0. 2-0. Yeah. And I'm sure that when we do that, we return to Boston, we will be ready to face the English, and in which will look like the decider for the group that we belong to. So, Speaker, on this note, may I urge the entire nation to support the activities of the Black Stars. Organization had run into some difficulties, but the organization in continental Northern America is fluid. A lot of people have been transported across the border. Some have flown to Canada. Tickets are being given to people who are interested in attending the match in Canada. So let's support the Black Stars. And I believe that if they do well at the World Cup, Speaker, not only has it got a further boost to our social and domestic matters, because families are at peace when we do well in football, it also has its own commercial value for the things we do, because it has a way of marketing the nation. So we want to call on everyone to support the activities of the Black Stars. Mr. Speaker, with this way, I thank you for the...
But I would also use this opportunity to ask that the President, John Dramani Mahama, formed a committee, and in this committee he carefully selected ministries and ministers that's responsibility was to take care, manage the team successfully, take them to the cup and bring them back. Speaker, it is sad to announce that this team reneged on their duty, and today we are missing one of the best midfielders we have, Thomas Tepati, out of the games today after he missed the court in Canada, Ottawa, ruled against him. Speaker, it is sad. We should have anticipated some of these things. Mr. Speaker, it is the reason why the President, in his wisdom, formed this committee and then invited or placed key ministries in this committee to take care of some of these things. Mr. Speaker, we should have envisaged that we have a player who have some international challenges.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and let me commend the maker of the statement, the Chief Whip, for wishing the Black Stars well. And Mr. Speaker, I also wish the Black Stars well. The Black Stars have the pedigree. If you look at our outings so far as the World Cup competition is concerned, the Black Stars are amongst the best performers at that tournament on the African continent. At least we managed to make it to the quarterfinals, and Mr. Speaker, I can count Cameroon, Senegal as the other two African countries who have made it to the quarterfinals. But Morocco actually broke the quarterfinals record by making it to the semifinals. Ghana almost made it to the semifinals. Unfortunately, our quest to make it beyond that level was disrupted by Suarez. So, Mr. Speaker, we have the pedigree, and I have the conviction that the Black Stars will rise to the occasion and make us proud, even though we go to this tournament with a depleted squad. Mr. Speaker, Kudus, unfortunately, is injured. Jiku is injured, as well as Salisu. These are three players who are actually part of our first team selection. Unfortunately, they are injured.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to add my voice to the call to rally round the flag, rally round the Black Stars of Ghana, and rally round our great nation, the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the World Cup, a world event, presents an opportunity for countries around the world to showcase their class, their performance in football, which has become an everyday favorite of most adults across the world. Mr. Speaker, listening to the maker of the statement, the Honorable Nelson Dafiamako, I felt a great sense of nostalgia. Mr. Speaker, I felt nostalgia because I come from a family of football. In my family, the first Northerner to play professional football in this country, Al-Hassan Tanku, was my direct uncle, my mother's brother. The one who comes directly after my mother, Osman Orlando of Asante Kotoko fame, he was a striker. And everybody who knows football in this country from the 60s to the 70s knows Osman Orlando. Mr. Speaker, that's the family I come from. So when we talk football, it really strikes a nerve in me.
It's very, very important. And I pray and hope that they will not peak before their time. Yesterday, I watched the match between Senegal and France. And I was a bit disappointed with Senegal. They played so well in the first half. In the first half, they should have utilized their chances. They should have been up by 2-0. And so we are using this opportunity to also speak to the Black Stars. They should take advantage of every opportunity that they get. Now, apart from Ivory Coast, no African country has 3 points. They all have shared 1 each with them. But I must say that Cape Verde has done very well by standing toe-to-toe with Spain. But beyond that, most of the African countries, or all of the African countries that have played, apart from Ivory Coast, all have 1 point each. And I pray and hope that today we'll utilize our chances very well. And like I said, it's a day of accountability, and we expect them to account to us for every peswa that Ghana has invested in them. But I know they will not disappoint us. I know they will not disappoint us. Looking at the kind of support that they have, not just in Ghana, but across Africa. If you recall, South Africa mentioned that because they did not have the support of Africa around them, they ended up losing their match. But then for us as Ghanaians and most of the African countries, we are supporting the people of Ghana, we are supporting the Black Stars, and we know they'll make us proud. I want to use this opportunity to also urge the minister not to lose hope. The fact that Partey is not playing doesn't mean the team is not the team that can win a match. He should relax and allow God to do what he's going to do today.
And you heard the voices of some members of parliament expressing optimism ahead of the Black Stars game later this evening at 11 p.m. And then also, you had those who wanted to associate themselves, through the spirit of football, to recall how they are linked to former national team players or club footballers in the country, in an attempt to tell us about how football runs through their veins. Well, I think the passion of the nation clearly is football, and optimism is high, hoping that the Black Stars will do us proud later this evening. But let's now speak specifics and talk to Murtala Mohammed, who is with MG Sports. He's joined us in studio for a quick conversation on what the preparations have been so far, especially in Ghana, in the camp of the Black Stars, and then also how the group is looking like, what the expectations should be. Murtala, thank you for joining us in studio.
It's my pleasure.
Right. First of all, we know the government has released a statement to more or less encourage the boys to fly the flag of Ghana high and make us proud. What does the sports team or general thoughts are? What are your general thoughts on the president's statement?
In the right order? because he's the first gentleman of the land. I mean, there's nobody whose voice is louder than the president when it comes to matters that has to do with the nation. Not even the GFA president. I mean, when President John Dramani Mahama standing in front of these players talking, it speaks volume than even the GFA president, because you look at him as the first gentleman of the land, the first ambassador for this country. Government has thrown its support behind the Black Stars, such an encouragement for them. I've seen the vice president also make her way to the camp of the Black Stars. I saw how the players received him, how the GFA president welcomed him as well. I've seen other dignitaries, including Otunfo 82, the overlord of the Ashanti Kingdom, also in the Black Stars camp. It looks like everyone who has found its way into Canada has been at the Black Stars camp to offer their support. This is huge support for them. And I was telling somebody a few minutes ago that they shouldn't disappoint, because it's 11 p.m. here in Ghana. It's a weekday. People would go to work on Thursday. They would have to stay up and watch the game up until somewhere 1 a.m. So you can't disappoint, because if you disappoint, people have lost their sleep. People will go to work feeling sleepy and not even be in the right mood, because their spirits will be dampened. So the Black Stars have what... They just can't disappoint, and they know the importance of this first game, especially when you are in a group that contains England and Croatia. You cannot disappoint, because your next two games are extremely difficult.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the mood in camp and what signals are picking. What exactly? I mean, by now they've heard about the fact that the chapter on Partey is closed for this game. So what has the coach been saying regarding tactics and then going forward, playing without Partey?
If you know Carlos Queiroz, if you know any experienced manager, I'm sure they've already figured out how to play without Thomas Partey. Because even if Thomas Partey, it came late last night, even if Thomas Partey had been granted, entry into Canada, it wouldn't have changed anything. By now, you should have your system in play. Who is going to start in place of Thomas Partey. You should know this like 3 days ago when it came out that he can't be there. We've seen videos from the camp. We've seen how team culture has been built in there. We've seen the harmony. We've seen how players are excited, especially when Black Sheriff was in camp. You know, he had a show in America, so he passed through the base. You could see how the players were excited. Brandon Thomas Asante, all these boys. We want to see that happiness being translated onto the pitch for good football. Players like Gideon Mensah have talked about how intense the training has been as compared to what we used to see at under Otto Addo. But that is training. When we get to the match, show your quality. This is the day that the Black Stars would have to make all Ghanaians proud. Because in 2022, we were sad. And funny enough, Ghana has only won one match, opening day match at the World Cup.
Yes. So this is our fifth appearance.
Our fifth appearance.
Previous
2006, we lost to Italy. You remember that 2-0 defeat where Cycle 4 gave that back pass. It was 2010 that we managed to beat Serbia, because in 2014 in Brazil, we lost to the USA by 2-1. 2018, we didn't qualify for the World Cup. 2022, our opening game was against Portugal, where we lost as well by 3-2. So we need to better ourselves in that regard when it comes to that record. And today, against Panama, it doesn't get any bigger, because England will be playing Croatia before we take on Panama.
Does that give us an advantage, especially with the supporters? The players may not be able to watch fully, but they will definitely follow the England-Croatia game. But as supporters and analysts and sports journalists, would that help us understand how the group is likely to
Of course, it gives us a better understanding. It gives us a better idea of what we need to do going forward, because should that game even end in the draw and Ghana win, it means that you top your group. Then you go into your second game against England. You just have to beat Panama, because trust me, I spoke to some couple of friends who are in the US and in Canada, and they are telling me the Panamanians also feel that Ghana are the whipping boys in the group. So if they are able to win against Ghana, that means they stand a chance of also qualifying to the next round. And Ghanaians also feel that Panama are the whipping boys of the group. So if you're able to beat them, because we are the two least ranked teams in the tournament, and we are in the same group. Croatia and England are ranked higher. So it's a game that is there for the taking. Whoever wins this game stand a chance of being part of the team that will qualify for the round of 32. And Ghana must make it out. Not just win, but you need to win convincingly, because it could come down to goals in the end.
Charlie, we'll have to leave it here for now, but thank you for joining us and helping us with some analysis.
But the game will be live on TV3. We'll start our build-up at 9 p.m. because we would have to cross over to Canada where BAWKU Ampofo is standing by. We'll cross over to other parts of Ghana, Takrady, Kumasi.
To gauge the mood.
Yes, gauge the mood there ahead of the game as well. So we'll start our build-up 9 p.m. Yeah. Same on radio, 3FM as well. We'll start at 9 p.m. We'll have Augustina Info and Coach Maxwell Kunedu, who has coached the Black Stars before, all with us in the studio. And it's going to be a fun time.
Thank you very much, Murtala Mohammed, for that update from the camp of the Black Stars and then also preparations ahead of this evening's game. Let's go to Zoom now and speak to Oreku Ampofo. He's our man covering the game for us in Canada. He's joined us for a quick conversation. Oreku, thank you so much for your time. What have you seen upon arrival regarding the Black Stars? How are they? What kind of mood are they in ahead of this evening's encounter?
Well, thank you very much, Martin. I got to Canada in the early hours of Wednesday. So far this morning, I've been to the BMO field here in downtown Toronto, which is about 45,000 capacity stadium. That's where the match will actually be 8:30 tonight. It's 7 p.m. local time here in Toronto, but I think in Ghana it should be around 11 p.m. And so people would have to sacrifice to see the national team play. But speaking of the mood and camp, as of now, I'm at the hotel of the Black Stars. You can see there's a flag on top there.
Yes.
There are a couple of flags outside here. If you enter the hotel, you will see a number of paraphernalia. Fans are already here, awaiting the players to come out and head to the stadium. That should happen in about a couple of hours' time. But I think generally, there's been a lot of excitement and relaxation in the camp of the Black Stars. There's been a unifying message of togetherness from Carlos Queiroz the moment he took the job as the head coach, and that's what we've seen throughout the camp duties, throughout training. I mean, there's been a little bit of a distraction with the Thomas Partey case, but I do think that Queiroz has been a straight World Cup, but only the third coach to ever achieve this in world football, will definitely have enough experience in his time to be able to navigate this situation. And it's a game that is hanging in the balance. Both teams will look at this game thinking that if we can get 3 points, it makes it really, really interesting. And so I don't think it's that straightforward for Ghana, because Panama, I've spoken to some fans this morning, and they also genuinely believe that they are here to beat Ghana and actually wanting Ghana. So I think it will be a very interesting game later here tonight.
All right. Certainly, I mean, both of us, we need to size ourselves up, because whereas we think they are the ones we can beat easily, they have the same mindset as well. But also talk to us briefly about the news of a possible lineup without Partey. What's the thinking of the players? What's the thinking of the manager following the press conference he gave yesterday?
Well, when he was asked about what his lineup would look like, he immediately brushed that aside by saying that, he has 26 players that he trusted and called for this assignment. And so his lineup definitely is going to come from in there. I mean, that's what happens when you have a very experienced coach at the helm. He intelligently dodged any questions about how he would line up without potentially Thomas Partey, because as at the time that the press conference was happening, the verdict had not yet been released. And so now that we do know, I think from the only sample size that we have is the game between Ghana and Wales. And we saw that 1-1 game in Cardiff, where despite the fact that Thomas Partey started in that match, we saw him being subbed off at halftime because he wasn't great, looked very off in that first 45 minutes, picked a yellow card. In fact, should have had a red card after a very bad was replaced in the second half by the likes of Elisha, then Caleb Ewing coming on. There are a number of midfield options that he can call on. As I mentioned, there's Caleb Ewing Chief, there's Elisha Owusu, and then there's Kwesi Sibo, who also came on in the second half of the Wales game. And so 3 options. And also there's the opportunity for him to play August 8 and go with 1-6 and maybe play the double 8. There are different ways that he can decide to explore. But in the end, it could potentially also give Ghana an X factor, because no one, including the journalists, even knows how Ghana would line up without a key player like Partey. And so it could go both ways. I mean, either Ghana ends up missing someone like Partey with the control that he brings in the midfield and the experience, or you surprise your opponents who don't even know how Ghana are going to react to this situation.
Oreku, thank you very much. We'd have to leave it here for now and leave you to prep yourself as we all get ready for that crucial game. Thank you very much for your time, Oreku.
Thank you. Bye.
Right, bye. Oreku Ampofo is our man joining us straight from Canada, updating us on what we should be expecting, especially about the mood in camp, the preparations ahead of this evening's encounter against Panama. He talked to us also about how the dignitaries that are arriving there are all, one way or the other, encouraging the team to make us all proud when they kick off at 11 p.m. Ghana time. So there will be live coverage here on 3FM 92.7. There's also going to be coverage on TV3 and on all our sister stations. So you want to make a date later this evening, maybe around this time, quickly get some rest, get something to eat, and then wake up around 9:30 thereabout when our coverage starts. So 10 o'clock we'll start touching base with our coverage. Special guests have been invited, and then later we can also be a part of the coverage by sending in your predictions, your messages. In fact, send us your predictions. How is Ghana likely to end the game against Panama? Many of you I have seen are already predicting a 2-0 win against Panama. It's going to be very good if we actually do win and then progress to the next game and hopefully out of the group stages. We're staying on issues of Black Stars because I indicated to you earlier that there were reports from Parliament where the members of the House were all excited about today's encounter. It was interesting to hear some members of Parliament give tactical analysis of the Senegal-France game, and then also how they are hoping that Ghana can learn lessons from some of the African countries that did not do so well, or those that did very well in their opening encounters at the World Cup. So they are all optimistic that Ghana can do well when it comes to their first game. Let's speak to Christian Yali, or Christian Yali has been speaking to some of the members of Parliament again on the sidelines of today's parliamentary sittings. Let's listen to them.
Spirited Jamboree, that is what is happening right now. Members of Parliament, right after adjournment, have gathered here to warm up for that big opener of Black Stars against Panama in the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Ghana Black Star is winning 2 straight. And you know, Panama is a good side, but we know the caliber and the spirit that is within the Black Star.
What do you expect going into the game?
Win. That's all I'll say. We're expecting them to perform their best, do whatever they can, and make sure they come home with good results.
What is your prediction going into the game tonight?
It's going to be either 2-0 or 2-1 in favor of Ghana.
So the whole Parliament is full of joy because we know that Black Star today, we are going to win the match against Panama, and we are going to bring the cup back here in Ghana. It's 2-0.
But let me engage the Salaga South MP quickly.
My constituents are excited. They are upbeat. They are waiting for the match at 11 p.m. We've set up big screen in the constituency so they can watch it together, show love, galvanize the people, and offer the Black Stars the needed support and cheers to spur them on.
I just tell them, say, Ghana, they make me fire. So we are expecting that the spirit is high. It says that they are charged, we are charged, and we believe that our players are going to do it for us. The Ghana spirit is back.
Oh yeah, so we are happy. We are MPs, we are representing Ghana, and Black Stars is the blood of Ghanaians. And so no matter who you are, today, this day, you have to support the Black Stars.
We are changing the atmosphere. What is happening in Ghana is happening in Toronto. And so it's like what is happening on earth is happening in heaven. Well, the scoreline, it will not be over 3.5, and it will not be under 2.5 as well.
What what is the scoreline for you?
5-0.
Oh, that is so very ambitious, isn't it?
No, it's not ambitious. This particular tournament, we are going to have the third best team. So if you get a weaker link like Panama, you should score them more so that going forward you can use the points to build your chances.
In as much as you may see Panama as the weakest link in this group, they are equally ready for the tournament. Besides, we have already seen teams like Cape Verde spring surprises.
I am expecting that the Panama group, they are underdogs. We cannot just, take them for granted. So I'm expecting that we are going to win 2-1. So go Black Star, you're hitting.
Yahiti. I love the spirit here and how everything is unfolding here. And so all is set. Ghanaians are keenly anticipating that at 11 p.m. GMT, the Black Stars will do it as always. The love, the passion, and the support is there. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Parliament.
Certainly so, and Christian Yale reporting from Parliament, and clearly you can hear the excitement in the voices of the members of the House who are all extremely optimistic about Ghana's chances later this evening. Let's rally behind the flag, rally behind the Black Stars. Let's make it happen for the nation. And if you go to our website, 3news.com, you also get to see, and on our various social media pages, you get to see the video of the members of Parliament Shinjama. They Shijama for the Parliament there. And then they are all given their score lines and are very high-spirited that the Black Stars will do all of us proud. Well, Vim Day. Stay with us. You're still listening to 3FM 92.7. We'll be back after this when we start talking about other important stories in Ghana, which has to do with health concerns. Stay with us. You're listening to 3FM 92.7. Let's go on to some other stories this evening. And we're talking health now. With the exception of pregnant women, children under the age of 5 and lactating mothers, all eligible persons in some 86 endemic districts from 15 regions will be vaccinated against elephantiasis, river blindness, and bilharzia. The exercise, which forms part of efforts to achieve the global elimination target of neglected tropical diseases by 2030, will start on Saturday, the 20th of June to the 3rd of July. The Ghana Health Service says it will vaccinate and treat about 6.7 million eligible Ghanaians or people in a renewed campaign against neglected tropical diseases. The exercise will target diseases including elephantiasis, river blindness, and bilharzia, which continue to affect vulnerable communities across the country. The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Professor Samuel Kaba Akoriya, has been speaking ahead of the exercise.
Treatment for lymphatic filariasis will target approximately 266,000 people in 2 endemic districts, while community deworming against schistosomiasis will be conducted in 13 districts across 8 regions, treating approximately 1 million population. Mass drug administration is one of the most effective tools for controlling and eliminating these diseases. It involves providing safe, effective medicines to all eligible people in affected communities. These medicines have been used successfully for many years and are recommended by the World Health Organization. With consistent community participation over several years, NDA can dramatically reduce transmission and ultimately eliminate the diseases.
And you had Professor Samuel Kaba Akori-Yea, who is the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. Let's now go to the phone lines and speak to Dr. Joseph Opare. He is the Neglected Tropical Disease Program Manager. Good evening, sir. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, sir.
Right. Can you help us understand the significance of the mass drug administration? Why is it important?
All right. Thank you for your question, and good evening to your listeners, your watchers as well, your viewers. So, Ghana is endemic. Ghana has neglected tropical diseases. We have 14 of them out of the 21 that is has been categorized by WHO. And some of them, which we call preventive chemotherapy neglected tropical diseases, being onchocerciasis, lymphatic filariasis, schistosomiasis, trachoma, and soil-transmitted helminths. On yearly basis, we do mass drug administration. That is where we suspect there is that endemicity, we treat the entire population. So this year also, we are supposed to treat for onchocerciasis, lymphatic filariasis, and schistosomiasis, right? So this is the way we kind of approach these diseases in order to get them eliminated from our country. So it's just the season, the period that we normally do the mass drug administration, and that is why we are using this opportunity to inform the general public about what the health sector is going to do in collaboration with our partners. Thank you.
Right. And maybe for those who may not know, when you say neglected tropical diseases, what are they?
Right. So as I started earlier, these are 21 conditions that have been categorized by WHO. And these diseases some years ago were neglected. All right. When we say were neglected, it's like it was out of the radar of potential funders. Many people talked about these conditions. These conditions affect poor areas, remote communities, and so forth. So they hardly get exposure to the regular healthcare delivery services. So these are some of the reasons why we call them neglected. And these are onchocerciasis, lymphatic filariasis, trachoma, soil-transmitted helminths. You have schistosomiasis. So these are what we call preventive chemotherapy neglected tropical diseases. When you get any of these infections, we do mass treatment. But we also have case management neglected tropical diseases. These are leprosy, Brody ulcer, scabies, yaws, human African trypanosomiasis, rabies, and so forth. By this time, the focus is on the preventive chemotherapy neglected tropical diseases, where 3 of them we are doing mass treatment nationwide in 86 districts in 15 regions. Thank you.
Right. So you have actually, that was my next question about the coverage plan, but you mentioned the regions. You say 6 regions out of the 16 is for starters, or all of them at a go?
No, 15. We are doing this activity in 15 regions and 86 districts. 86.
Wow. Okay. Yes. And so what should the Ghanaian expect? That you have people coming, they are properly dressed, so-called for easy identification, they come into the community and then they administer, or we have to go to health facilities in district to undertake this? How is it going to play out?
All right, so let me put it this way. We have health workers and trained community volunteers who are going to be on the field for this campaign. So we see that our simple message here and how it's going to be done is goes like this. So it's like from 20th of June to 3rd of July 2026. Okay, just from this Saturday, we have trained health workers and community volunteers who will visit communities to provide free medicines to eligible individuals. These medicines are safe, effective, and vital in protecting families from river blindness, elephantiasis, and bilharzia. So when the health workers and the volunteers visit, we are urging all community members or everybody to take the medicines, okay, as directed, and encourage others to do same, because we feel that together we can protect our communities, improve health outcomes, and eliminate these diseases from Ghana. So it's very simple. These our health workers and volunteers will visit, tell you why we are in the community, talk about these diseases, 3 of them: elephantiasis, lymphatic filariasis, onchocerciasis, and schistosomiasis, why we need to treat them. We don't want to get blind or low vision from onchocerciasis. We don't want to get elephantiasis, piglets, JP from lymphatic filariasis. And we don't want to be anemic from blood in urine, as we normally call it, for schistosomiasis and lose concentration. So it's a means of preventing these conditions and protecting the community members from these conditions as well. So it's very simple, and it's an activity that has been certified by WHO, which we do yearly, and the Ghana Health Service has also approved of that. So that is the whole show.
Right, and maybe finally, you are targeting about 6.7 million Ghanaians in a period of 2 weeks. Is that possible, or there's a potential extension at some point if the need be?
Oh, it's really possible. We have 14 days to do this work. Yeah, and even this number is lower, because normally we do more, but because the disease is, the condition is reduced drastically, that is why we have these numbers, all right? Because some years ago we were treating more than, these numbers. So it's really possible.
It's possible. Okay.
It's really possible. Like if you look at lymphatic filariasis, we had endemicity in 117 districts, okay? But we've been able to interrupt transmission in 114. So only 3 is left. So you see that the numbers have reduced here. Onchocerciasis, we have only 149. The prevalence or the disease burden is also gone down. So the numbers are reducing. And we hope that by come 2030, we would have reduced people needing this treatment by 75%.
Right.
So this is our target, and we hope to achieve that in the near future. Thank you.
Okay. We are grateful for your time, and definitely will be engaging you as this exercise starts. It starts when? What date does it start?
Yeah, it's from 20th of June. That is come Saturday through the 3rd of July.
Yes, from the 20th. Okay, so this weekend, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a nationwide exercise. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
And
Thank
we
you
will
too.
be engaging you some more.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. You heard Dr. Joseph Opare. He is the programs manager for the neglected tropical diseases, and has been explaining or giving us further understanding of what to expect in the coming days. So from Saturday, there's going to be a nationwide rollout of the vaccination against the diseases that we are told have been neglected, but they are part of the human existence cycle, so we need to start paying attention to them. And they include elephantiasis, river blindness, bilharzia, amongst others. So you don't want to miss this opportunity if it does come to your neighborhood. Well, on the back of that, we take a quick break. We'll be back with the latest in the world of business.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the business segment on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7 with me, Bismarck Kausa. Coming up tonight, financial blindness and poor cash flow blamed for silent failure of African farms. We'll bring you details. Thanks for your company. Now to the details. A structural gap in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 2, Zero Hunger, is being blamed for the quiet but consistent failure of farmholder or smallholder farms across Africa. Experts warn that billions of dollars channeled into seeds and infrastructure will continue to go to waste because the global framework completely omits farm financial management. Studies show that fewer than 15% of smallholder farmers in sub-Saharan Africa track their cost of production or prepare basic income statements. In Ghana alone, up to 30% of crop losses are driven by poor cash flow planning rather than storage failures, as cash-trapped farmers are forced into premature sales at depressed prices. Agricultural practitioners are now calling on development banks and policymakers to urgently embed financial literacy as a core indicator, warning that the world cannot build a sustainable food system on farms that do not know whether they are profitable. Moving on, in a powerful address on capital formation, the Director General of Ghana's Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Dr. James Kluchi Aveji, hailed the capital market as a vital mechanism for driving national development and economic transformation. Dr. Aveji urged stakeholders to view the capital market not as an abstract institution, but as a practical vehicle where entrepreneurial dreams are financed, enterprises are scaled, and shared prosperity is built.
This is capital formation at its best. Money raised from Ghanaians and friends of Ghana being deployed to create jobs, deepen manufacturing, and reduce import dependency. It is a model of how stock exchange should serve as an engine room for national development. Let us remember that capital markets are not abstract institutions. They are the mechanism through which dreams are financed, enterprises are scaled, and the prosperity is shared. A race for every Ghanaian entrepreneur who dares to dream big, for every investor who believes in our economy, for a Ghana Stock Exchange that continues to mature as a platform for national transformation, and for SEC that continues to ensure that the investors and the integrity of the market are protected.
And that was Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Dr. James Kluchi Aveji. Now, the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has attributed delays in the completion of construction projects largely to the government's failure to pay contractors on time. Their comments follow repeated concerns raised by the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Govins Abuja, over the pace of work on several road projects across the country and his subsequent directive for some contracts to be terminated over non-performance. Speaking to 3 Business, Chief Executive of the Chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, acknowledged concerns about delays in project delivery, but said contractors are often constrained by outstanding payments owed by the state.
That is also a challenge as the Chamber is trying to look into. We've discussed with the minister because some of them are legitimate. Okay, as we speak now, as been said earlier, there were legacy debt that this current administration has inherited. Now that this current administration has also awarded new contract, there are in the books. There are liabilities in the books. So a contractor A may be given a big push project today, but in the books, government is indebted to that particular contractor, which has not been cleared. So if you pay mobilization to that contractor, the bank will take it away, thinking that that contractor is having money. But you go to the bank has swallowed that money because the contractor is owing that bank. So if immediately it happened this way, you'll be thinking that the contractor has diverted the money. It's not him. It's the bank that has swallowed the money because the contractor is owing the banks. To you, you have paid mobilizations, but the bank has taken that money to defect each liability to the contractor.
You heard Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry, Emmanuel Cherry, and that brings us to the end of business news on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7 with me, Bismarck. Also, for more business stories, please check out our website 3news.com. Thanks for your company.
You're still listening to 3FM 92.7. This is Hot Edition, and we're still in the mood for the World Cup. Black Stars are playing later this evening at 11 p.m. Already there is an ongoing game between Portugal, which has Cristiano Ronaldo, and then also DR Congo, one of the 10 African countries participating in this year's World Cup. And it is halftime as we speak, and the scoreline is 1-1. Who would have thought that DR Congo will be matching Portugal boot for boot? But that is the score at halftime. It's 1-1. The second half, there is still a lot to play for. But talking about football, the Black Stars, the national team's Black Stars, who would be playing later this evening at 11 p.m., have had Ghanaians talking. Now, earlier we brought to members of parliament who were expressing their thoughts and expectations. We've spoken to CEOs, people of high repute. The president has also spoken. Now let's listen to ordinary Ghanaians on their personal expectations ahead of the Black Stars game this evening.
Conversation topping the charts and dominating the streets of Accra or Ghana precisely, then you know it is definitely the Ghana Black Stars World Cup opener happening tonight in some few hours against Panama. And today we are on the streets of Accra, specifically Osu, from Night Market to Oxford Street, to gauge the reactions of people and to know how prepared they are, how prepared they think Ghana Black Stars are, and also their predictions so far. With all that is happening around the World Cup, do they think that Ghana Black Stars is going to take the cup, or we will go on to the next stage?
Ghana Black Stars will perform well, even though we don't have Partey. We think that whoever will replace him will do well. We pray that Ghana moves to the next stage. And you can see everyone here will benefit from it. Those wearing the jerseys, those selling the jerseys, everyone is going to benefit from it. Even if you're not selling, that emotional benefit you get.
Tonight the game will be amazing, and I hope Ghana will score 1-0. 1-0 Ghana. Oh, I hope so. Ghana will win. Definitely Ghana will win.
What makes you that confident?
So I get that confidence in me a long time because I know the team where you are going, everybody was saying it's not good. The team was so bad, but right now when you look at the guys and the way their unity is there, definitely we will win.
2-0.
2-0?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I like this guy. What's his name? Oh, Semenyo. Semenyo is my guy. I've watched him before. So, it's like, I mean, they play well. We have the chance. Let's watch the first few games and then we can predict. I mean, it'll be I don't know, it's too early.
Ghana, we believe ourselves. We believe our players. So we're going to win that game by 2-0. Thank you very much.
2-0.
Oh, we are praying for the Black Stars, and the whole continent is trying to watch Black Stars carefully, and we hope they will deliver. I'm praying for the Black Stars, especially the goalkeeper, all management of the Black Stars. We thank you very much. And prediction at least 2-1 will not be bad. Ghana will score, and the Panama will equalize, and finally we'll add one to it.
Oh, and they expect you to be yeah, said Yankopon Bebo and Anton Obai, no one young. Say Ghana man, who say more than 90% Ghana JC. Or when you know, she said, and couldn't be a beba. See a bumpire at the town much. And here 2 goals. Now you will see 3 points.
You heard the thoughts of some Ghanaians expressing powerful optimism ahead of this evening's encounter against Panama. And from the rest of the team here at Media General, specifically 3FM, the Hot Edition crew, we also put our full support and endorsement behind the Black Stars and wish them the best. We'll be supporting from our base here in Ghana. The lead producer and the entire team, we have all agreed that the Black Stars will definitely dish 2 goals to Panama, and we'll have 2 bottles of some cold something to drink after. We say kudos to them ahead of the encounter, and it's definitely going to be a great game, and we'll be watching here it'll be live actually, where we'll bring you live coverage on 3FM and on TV3. On that note, I say thank you for listening. My name is Martin Esiedudati. Have a good evening.